order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And do you swear from the testimony you give today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You can all say it, just the ones who are swearing in. And you can call our first case.
Case number 2023-401, Tyler Austin Wright, owner, location of violation, 1209 7th Street, St. Cloud, Florida.
Good afternoon, Pam Neal, Community Compliance Officer. I am presenting this case for the property located at 1209 7th Street. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items: a copy of the courtesy notice sent to the owner and the management company, copy of the notice of violation sent to the owner and the management company, copy of the notice of violation sent by certified mail to the owner and the management company, copy of the statement of violation and notice of hearing sent by certified mail to the owner. The notice was sent back from the management company with an address change. The certified card signed for, copy of the PowerPoint presentation, copy of the deed to the property, copy of the code sections in violation, copy of the costs incurred if the special magistrate finds the respondent in violation in the amount of $214.80. The respondent is not here, and I guess you got the book already? Okay. This property was on a list of delinquent licenses given to code enforcement from the Planning and Zoning Department. On March 2nd, 2023, an email was sent to the management company explaining the landlord license was delinquent and this license needed to be renewed. On March 13th, I checked and the license was still delinquent, and I also noticed there was an electrical permit and a plumbing permit that was expired. On March 13th, a courtesy notice was sent to the owner and the management company. March 24th, I checked and the licenses both permits were still delinquent and the landlord license expired. On March 24th, a notice of violation was sent to the owner and the management company. On April 11th, I checked and the license was still delinquent and the permits were still expired. On April 11th, a notice violation was sent by certified mail to the owner and the management company. On May 9th, I checked and both licenses were still expired and the landlord license was delinquent.
Was anybody getting in touch? Have you heard from anybody?
I haven't heard from not one person. On May 9th, a statement of violation notice of hearing was sent by certified mail to the owner. On June 12th, I checked and both permits were still expired and the license was still delinquent. I did take one picture just to show you the house. On June 15th, I checked and the property was still in non-compliance. On June 21st, I checked and still both permits were expired and the landlord license was still delinquent. It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in violation of allowing rental property without an active landlord license and permits to expire at this location, and to have the license renewed and permits corrected by June 29th, 2023, or pay a fine of $100 a day until compliance is met. The city would like to also recover the costs incurred in bringing this case before the special magistrate in the amount of $214.80 to be paid within 7 days of the written order of the magistrate as well. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Better? Sorry. And the structure is occupied, right?
It appears to be, yes.
And no communication whatsoever? No nothing?
None.
Hmm.
And
Is
they
it-
signed for their,
Grass is being mowed?
yep.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at in the green cards. There were two different signatures if you go through the series of green cards, and none of them were legible. So, no respondent present. Based on the evidence testimony received, I'll find in favor of the city. Find that the respondent is in violation of code for open electrical and plumbing permits that have not been closed out and are now expired, as well as failure to obtain landlord license and business tax receipt for the rental. Order the respondent to cure those conditions by June 29, 2023. If not brought in compliance by that date, a fine of $100 per day will run until compliance is met. We'll also order the respondent to pay the administrative costs incurred by the city in the amount of $214.80, which amount will be due within 7 days of the date of my written order.
Thank you.
Case number 2023-1056, Barbie Palmer, owner, repeat violation, location of violation, 1321 12th Street, St. Cloud, Florida.
Good afternoon, Pam Neal, City of St. Cloud Community Compliance Officer. I am presenting this case for the property located at 1321 12th Street. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items: copy of the statement of violation and notice of hearing sent by certified mail and posted on the property and City Hall, copy of the PowerPoint presentation, copy of the affidavit of posting, copy of the deed to the property, copy of the code section in violation, copy of the costs incurred if the special magistrate finds a respondent in violation in the amount of $214.60. On June 6, 2023, I received a complaint about high grass and weeds at this location. On June 6, 2023, I went to verify the grass and weeds, and they are high on the property. This is a repeat violation. Originally, the property went to the special magistrate in November of '22. I took 4 photos. On June 7th, a statement of violation notice of hearing was sent by certified mail and posted on the property in City Hall. I took 1 photo. On June 15th, I went to the location, and the grass and weeds are still high on parts of the property. I took 3 photos.
Where in relationship, just tell me, describe for me where the overgrown grass is, just so I have a picture in my head.
That one's by the road, right on
so-
Massachusetts Avenue. And that's on the other side of the house. And that one's in front but back, like on the back side of the property.
Okay.
On June 21st, a reinspection was made and the property was still in violation. The grass that they had mowed is already getting high again. And the respondent is not here. It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in a repeat violation of allowing high grass and weeds to be above the height of 8 inches at this location and to pay a fine of $500 a day starting from June 6, 2023, the day the violation was found, until compliance is met. The city would like to also recover the costs incurred in bringing the case before the special magistrate in the amount of $214.60 to be paid within 7 days of the written order of the magistrate as well. And that concludes my presentation.
No word from the respondent on
No, and
communication?
I talked to the business that was there and explained to him that her address on Property Appraisers is on Wisconsin Avenue, which she doesn't live there. He said he would tell her, and he wouldn't give me her new address, so,
And you provided him a copy of the notices?
yes, sir.
I'm going to find in favor of the city, find that respondent is in violation for having grass and weeds over height of 8 inches, find that it is a repeat violation, and I will order the accrual of $500 a day beginning June 6, 2023. I have a question for code enforcement on how you want me to structure this order. I can set this up as I do usually with repeat violations where it's recordable from the minute I enter it. I can also give her an incentive by holding the recording of that in abeyance to give her like 30 extra days. If she complies in 30 extra days, she could bring it back and request for me to go ahead and reduce that. It's up to the city.
The latter is fine.
And just to use a little bit of a carrot with the
Yeah,
order. That was
we're-
that's
yeah.
why I do it that
This-
way sometimes, to try to get somebody's attention, to get them, maybe it helps with the compliance.
Yeah, the respondent is somewhat notorious, but at the same time, we're just looking to get compliance. So I think we can use your approach, as you stated, giving a little bit of time.
Okay. And I will order that these administrative costs be paid by the respondent in the amount of $214.60, which amount will be due within 7 days of my written order.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Unfinished business, none. New business, reduction of lien under $50,000. Case number 2021-1526, Patrick Francis Alfonso and Pollyanna Pizarro, owners. Location of violation, 1775 Bright Sky Drive, St. Cloud, Florida.
Jack Morrison for the city, Your Honor. Just a proposal for your acceptance, or at least we're recommending you accept it. It's a reduction of a fine lien. This was a failure to get the permit for fence.
I read the letter.
Yep. It's a reduction down to a $500 flat fine and collection or recovery of the cost as well, for a total paid of $734.30, as long as such is paid within 30 days of your order.
Do you have a copy of the agreement over there? Or do
I-
you have a copy in front of you, Jack?
I wrote on mine, but I can
That's
give it
okay.
to you if you want it. You can certainly have mine.
So the settlement amount is $734.
Correct. Reduced down from 7,334.30 down to 734.30.
I will approve the request for reduction in accordance with the terms set forth in the agreement with the city manager for such reduction, conditioned upon payment within 30 days. Can you email me a copy of that when you get a chance, just so I can attach it to my order? And anything else in that case?
No, sir, thank you.
How long has Dave Tomek been assistant city manager? I
You know,
noticed in the agreement.
I don't know the answer to that.
I'm just curious, when I first started doing this, Dave was community development director over in Maitland.
Oh, okay.
So I've known Dave for a long time.
Numbers, okay,
Tell Dave hello if you see him.
okay,
Tell
Okay.
Dave hello if you see him.
fair enough.
Anything else?
There is one other,
Okay.
just sort of a general matter. Ms. Bennett is here. She can provide under oath some background. There was a case, I believe, in May before you, and I don't remember the case, and I don't remember the gentleman's name who appeared. It was at the end of the agenda, and he presented himself as appearing on behalf of the respondent.
Yes, I know you're talking about.
And so I think Ms. Bennett had some interaction with the respondent subsequent to that hearing, and I think she wanted to at least impart to you what she had learned from the respondent.
Okay, is it material to the code enforcement case or to the parties?
It's material to the gentleman that was here in front of you on that.
But not to that
afternoon.
specific case?
No.
Okay, yes.
it is
then I'm
not.
fine. I just don't want to have an ex parte, I just
No,
don't
no,
want
no,
an ex parte to a
correct. It
particular
is, has
case.
nothing to do with the case
Okay.
itself, but it does have to do with that respondent, so.
Understood,
Okay,
yes, I'm
thank you.
curious.
Ms. Bennett, you want-
April Bennett. I had spoke with the property owner of that 2010 Pine Street. He had called me in reference to the case, and I was just inquiring with him if he received his respondent copies from his representative. He said he didn't know who he was. It was a random phone call he received, and that he was asking him if he was going to be here, and he said he was unable to attend the meeting, and so he just showed up on his behalf, but my respondent, Brady, didn't even know who he was, so I think it was just more to gather information for a future case that we're going to be presenting.
I think you're right. I was a little bit suspicious at the time, so I appreciate you filling me in on that, but it did, it triggered just hearing it. Yeah, he was here for somebody else and presenting himself as a representative of the respondent. Yeah, I wondered if that was going on. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Nothing further.
Thank you. Then we are adjourned.
Thank you all.